Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Just got back from the National. What an experience. This may be a long video, so bear with me. And you know, it's kind of all off the cuff. No editing, I'm just gonna tell you my feelings and what happened and my pickups and the whole thing. And you know, and I'm drinking my cup of coffee here and found out that my Marlins traded Jazz Chisholm, which is terrible after they traded Rise. So my Marlins cup is all, Marlins logo's gone. Terrible. But anyway, let's move on. The National. What a fantastic time. What an incredible event. My voice is almost gone from talking to so many people, doing so many things. I mean, even before when I got to the airport, I met, sitting there waiting, and you know, you could see the people that are going all to Cleveland. And this was Thursday afternoon. We got delayed 2 hours, then switched us to another terminal, delayed another 2 hours. So 4 hours delay. I didn't get to Cleveland until about 7:30. And my great friend, buddy Darren, came and picked me up, took me to the IX Center, and you know, I got there probably like 10 minutes till 8. They were closing, and I went downstairs. There was nobody in line, and I got my ticket in a second. They were closing down, and I said, "Hey, can I get my ticket?" She said, Yeah, come on. And I just went, boom, got my ticket, no problem. And I ran right into the show, and I did that first video, just like trying to get a lay of the land first. So that's kind of the beginning of my journey. So the good thing is I heard that the line to get your ticket, your entry ticket, was so long that it was all the way around the corner or whatever. I didn't get to see that, and I guess that was a good thing, because I just walked right in. I was the only guy there and got my ticket right before 8 o'clock. So that was fun. No lines, no waiting. And as far as the parking, you know, I was with Ryan, Breakout Cards, and we were about 2.5 miles from Holiday Inn from the IX Center, and we walked. It took us maybe, I guess, 30 minutes or so. We walked 30, 40 minutes. We walked, and we got there probably faster than everybody else. We were walking, and the cars were like standing still, and we got there faster than a lot of the cars that were there. So the traffic was pretty bad, but that was another good thing, and got our exercise in. I don't know how much I walked, but it was a ton. So this is the ticket. I just got the early entry because I didn't need parking. I didn't need VIP. I wasn't going to get autographs. So I got the early entry, which is, you know, you still go in the same time as a VIP. So, you know, got in a little bit early. So Thursday, I got in there at the 9:30 entrance there, and stayed there right through 6. Friday, same thing. Saturday, left around noon time, because I had to catch my flight. And at the airport, I chatted up for a long time with, at the airport in Fort Lauderdale, where David lives, and I live basically. We got to meet, David is the owner of SGC, and he just sold SGC to PSA. So we had a nice conversation. I had seen him before, you know, I kind of introduced before, but we had a good chance to talk. And then again, on the flight back, he was on the flight back to Fort Lauderdale. So we were also able to talk there for a while. And you know, I probably should have recorded some of that conversation, but we were just chatting as friends. And another friend of ours, a vintage dealer, Coop, was there also. And Coop goes to the Palm Beach shows, and great guys. But anyway, we were showing some cards and talking some things. And you know, I showed David the card of that was altered by Moser, and I was not able to get that to PSA. The lines were ridiculous, but I'll work on that. You can go back and see my videos on the card that was cleaned. It was graded a 6. I went through my collection. I found I had a few of those. I had about 4 of those. So I took the worst one. I probably should, here, I'll show it to you. Hold on one second, guys. I'm right here next to it. I got it over here. So let me share that now that I'm talking about it. So I showed this card to David. I said, is that a 6? It looks like a 6. And PSA graded it a 6 at the time. But if you know these 1888 cards, you know that these borders are not as white. So David says it probably put a little bit of bleach in there and it eliminated the stain, but check out the stain. You know, this is a 6. Check out that stain. That stain was not there when PSA graded this card. Obviously, if they saw this stain in the back, they would not have graded it a 6. So what happened with this was, like the other ones that I showed you, this is the worst one I could find. The card was cleaned. It was altered by Gary Moser. He cleaned this card. He gave it to PWCC and he sold it to PWCC. And if you go back and look at the pictures, they're on the blowout forums. This card, a picture of this card, this stain was not visible. And obviously I would not bought this card with this bad stain as a 6. You know, I'm pretty much the expert in the N162 champions. I have the #1 set on the PSA registry. So I've had 2 complete sets of this. So I know these cards. And when I bought this card, it was nice and it did not have that. So that came back, and that's, you know, I don't want to get into that right now, but that's what I showed David, and he, you know, he said he had not seen stains like that come back, but that he had seen that some cards do develop some mold. You know, if they do have some moisture over the years, they will develop mold. And anyway, move on to that. I've got a little bit distracted in my talk here because I'm just excited. I just want to share some of the things that I was given so many things there by a lot of friends. You know, I'm not going to mention every one of them, but the first one, is, as you can see, is Drew. The Drew of Vintage Legacy gave me this. I mean, guys, this is more beautiful in person. This is maple wood. And if you see this in person and the work that he's put into this, it really is more beautiful than you see it on, you know, here on the video. So I'm gonna put it right up here for now, because that is a collector's dream. So some of the things I was given is just a bunch of things from everybody. You know, this, I'm not gonna mention everybody's names because it just goes on and on. I was given this. I was given a lot of Cuban cards, and I appreciate that. Of course, I was given Camilo Pascual cards. So really, really cool stuff. I was given the Cuban cards, and of course, I was given a Martin Dihigo, one of the beautiful Perez steel. So really, really cool stuff, really beautiful stuff. I just want to thank everybody for that. One of the things that I've always wanted to do, and I really, you know, I've met Dr. Beckett before, but I really had never had a chance to really even talk to him or get his autograph. So I was able to get Dr. Beckett's autograph and spend a little bit of time with Dr. Beckett, at least introduce myself so he knew who I was. And I'm just so inspired by him and what he's done for the hobby. It's one of the, you know, he is the pioneer, one of the pioneers of the hobby, you know, along with all of the other guys that we know, like Lionel Carter, people like that. And I was also able to get him to sign my Beckett. So beautifully signed right there. So it's just so happy that I was able to do this, and he was so kind and so nice. I mean, Dr. Beckett has got to be one of not just the smartest man, you know, and the most knowledgeable man in the hobby, but he is one of the nicest guys in the hobby. He's just a great, great guy, and just pleasure to meet him, and just really thrilled to be able to have his autograph, which I never had. So the other thing is, I went to the Heritage booth and I shot some stuff there, and was able to get, let me just zoom down, because I'm going to start showing cards and stuff here. So I was able to go to the Heritage thing, and after all the lines cleared, there was nobody there. I was taking video, and I just went right in there and I took a picture with the Wizard of Oz's, the witch's hat there, and the shoes there from the Wizard of Oz, and that was just a treat to see that. And they took a picture and they just kind of gave you the picture for free. So that's one of the nice things. So here I am with the Reindeer Studios t-shirt on, and it's just so much fun, man. I just, like my buddy Steven with a PH says, I was over the moon. I got this also at the Heritage thing. They gave you that. They took your picture and they gave you this little Power Rangers. And you saw in the video they had the entire original Power Rangers suits there. Go back and look at my Heritage video. And this is numbered to 500. So, just a little things, a lot of promos, things that were given away. I didn't get in many lines. My time was not for that. My time is to spend it with the YouTubers and to look for stuff to buy. So anyway, one of my projects, if you all know, you've been watching me, and some coffee there, is to collect the Gary Thomas autograph, Pro Hall of Fame art, which is basically the press steel of football. Gary Thomas started, I think, in 1986, and the series ended in 2016. There's about 300, the exact number, I don't know, 300 or so that he painted for the, you can see for the Hall of Fame. And I've been trying to put this together for whatever long it is. And I picked up a couple of more. So I am now, there's a possible 246 autographed that the players were living when they autographed it at the time. So I have, out of the 246 possible, I now have 228 autographed goal line art Hall of Fame football players. So I've got 208 autographed Hall of Fame football players so far. And I'm trying to complete that. So I only need 18 more. Some of them are easy. Emmitt Smith, what else do I need? I gotta look at the list, but they're easy. Oh, Deion Sanders, Michael Strahan, but those guys are a little kind of pricey at this time, the newer ones, but the ones I need, the tough ones I'm looking for are Al Davis and some of those guys. But anyway, I need 18, so I did pick up this Derrick Brooks. Let me show this to you guys so you can see it. So this is what they look like. And it says Derrick Brooks, class of 2014, limited edition. Just like the Perez Steel, they produced 5,000 of these. And the key is to get them signed, because these are not signed. You have to get them hand signed, hand autographed. So that's the tough part of it. And so I picked up the Derrick Brooks, which I didn't have. And I picked up Will Shields. I didn't have Will Shields. And that one has a nice, I like to pick them up where they say the Hall of Fame, when they were elected, Hall of Fame 14, Hall of Fame 15. And this is, again, another Hall of Famer, Will Shields. It says, from Nebraska, played for Kansas City Chiefs and enshrined in 2015. So 2 more, plus the Gary Thomas, which I did not have either. So I picked up the Gary Thomas autograph, and it talks about Gary Thomas. Gary Thomas is the gifted artist who has painted all of the 273 members. It's actually more now, 300, of the Pro Football Hall of Fame art series. Since 89 he did it. I thought it was 86. Since 1989, Mr. Thomas has been painting spectacular acrylic images of your favorite coaches and players. Now we're happy to present a self-portrait of the artist himself. So that's what I picked up to add to my autographed football collection. Now I have more than 228, but I have 228 Hall of Famers on there. I have like a few others. So anyway, some of my other collections, let me get to my, how about my Cuban card collection? I added a couple of cards to my Cuban card collection, and I'll share that with you right now. I picked up this Adolfo Luque. It's gonna be a long video, guys. I got a lot of pickups. And all of these pickups I got from selling. I sold virtually every card that I took. The two that I did not sell, I left them at Love of the Game auction with Al. And I brought two back. And just two that I didn't sell, the only two were these two guys here. So, you're still interested? They're $1.50 each. Roger Bresnahan and Rue Marquardt. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna upgrade those, so that's why I'm just gonna move them. So, I picked up this American Caramel Adolfo Luque, and you can see the back. It's just a beautiful copy of it. I mean, nice, clean back. And you see he played for the Reds. And it's got all the players that played for the Reds at that time. So it's a 1922 E120 American Caramel. I'll give you a good look at that card. It's Adolfo Luque. Just beautiful. I love the ornate borders on this card, on the series. It's just a beautiful card. I really love that look on that. He's kind of pitching there or batting. I don't know what he's doing there, but he's a pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. Look at that uniform. Just love it. And a V and a 4. So it's a nice card. I had to pick it up. Another card I picked up for my Cuban collection. It kind of goes along with my football collection, but it's kind of a mix. So I picked up this 1915 Susini Cuban. Oh, there's my wife. This Cuban football card. And I'm doing the video and she's gonna put away the groceries, hopefully. But this is a football, it says football rugby, but it looks more like a football. So it's a football card from 1915. They were printed in Cuba. And again, in 1915, maybe they didn't know a lot about the football and rugby because but it was printed in Cuba. And in 1915, Susini, so an early football card. I'll give you a good look at that. See that? So that is what it looks like. Again, back in those days, they wore very little helmets, but it's definitely football. You see some blocking going on there. And in the back, it's number 204. You see what it looks like. It's from Cuba. It's a Susini issue, number 204. And it's the football card in the 1915 Susini issue. You see the stands. They didn't play football in Cuba, but this is an American football. And again, Cuba had a lot of issues. So I also have, as you know, a boxing collection, a few boxing cards. And I picked up a beautiful second year, because Jack Dempsey started in 1921. So I don't know too much about, is this a rookie card or what, but it's a 1922 Felix Poten, Jack Dempsey. And I was with Ryan, and I talked to Ryan about this, and Ryan said that the third series is the toughest series in the Felix Poten cards. So this is a good 2 because it just kind of had a little bit of chipping down there. Really tough one, a real photograph, and you can see it, a real photo of Jack Dempsey. So it's just a beautiful card of Jack Dempsey from 1922. And I'll show you the back, it's just a blank back. So that's what that looks like, and that adds to my boxing collection. 1922, Felix Poten, Jack Dempsey. So it's going to be a long video, but just bear with me on that. My wife just got in with the groceries, and I would like to help her, but I'm in the middle of this right now. She understands. She's awesome. So in my non-sports, because I do have some non-sports cards, I picked up this 1931 W.D. and H.O. Wills, the rookie card of Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse. And I got this from Ryan. Ryan and Steven, they're focusing on a lot of the non-sports stuff, and I was able to, he picked up, I think, 7 of these when he went to Europe, and he got them all graded, and the highest graded is 6. And he had a couple of 4s, so I got one of the 4s off of him. So here's a 1931 Walt Disney rookie card. I always wanted to get this card. It's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful copy of it. I mean, it's nicely centered. I don't know how it was a 4. He had a few of them. I looked them all over, and I ended up getting this 4 because I thought it was better than the other 4. It just has, I think that corner ding there just took it down a notch, but the image was beautiful. And I think Ryan still has one more left. So if you guys are interested in one of these, contact him. But he sold all the others at the show. So Walt Disney Mickey Mouse rookie card. I'll show you the back. And it's just awesome because the back tells you the whole story. And if you want to pause it and read it there, it'll tell you everything about him and when he started. Just a beautiful card. Just real excited to have that. And along with that, I picked up the second Walt Disney card, which I think is even more beautiful. And it's the 1936 Mitchell Cigarettes Walt Disney, number 17. And it's a gallery of 1935 is what it's called there. And I just thought it was just a beautiful card. I should probably take the thing off of it, but check that out. Again, there it is. And it's the second card for Walt Disney. And I got this also off of Ryan. Just a gorgeous card. Again, I don't know how it's a 4. I thought it was much higher grade. A little slightly off-centered there, but it's a beautiful portrait of Walt Disney. And I'll show you the back. Again, if you want to pause and read that, this video is going to be long, so I don't want to make it much longer. But basically, it says that his films have already made $28 million. And that was in 35. So I picked up 2 for my non-sports side of my collection. 2 beautiful cards of Walt Disney. Okay, so let's move on to the good stuff. I picked up something to add to my Babe Ruth card. It's post playing days, but it's just a great card that I wanted. And the 1952 Look and See Babe Ruth in a 5, and just a great card. If you haven't seen these, they're beautiful. They're small. You would think they're big cards, but they're not. They're really smaller. And but they're, you know, if you compare them to something like, you know, these regular cards, you see that they're smaller cards, but they're really tough, and they're from 1952, so they're they're pretty old. They're definitely vintage, and I'll give you a good look at this. And again, I don't know how it's a 5. I think, you know, it does have the rough edges. Like all of these cards from the 50s have rough edges, and sometimes it's nice to get them rough edges because, you know, they haven't been tampered with. So I would maybe, you know, SGC probably would give this a better grade. When I showed it to David, he says, yeah, SGC likes the rough cuts, PSA does not. So I'll give you a good look at the Babe Ruth here, and the look and see. You see how the rough cut, but still those corners are nice. That's just how they were cut. They were cut with wire in those days, and sometimes with blades that were not really sharpened. Because again, these cards were not made to be collected. So this is Babe Ruth, and it's one of the cards in the Look and See set. Card number 15, and here's the back. Again, this card I saw no chipping on the corners. Usually the red is kind of chipped off, you know, because of the red is the toughest part in these cards. And you can see what they look like here, and you kind of see the image of Babe. If you want to go ahead and pause it, you can get a good look at that and read it. But it's from 1952. So I'm glad to add that to my my collection. So, you know, I do have 3 playing days and about a few others. So that's the Babe Ruth. Now going back to pre-war, I got this Jimmy Fox Tattoo Orbit, and probably right now this is one of my favorites because it came from the Mangini collection, and John was just so kind. He gave me this card, guys. Gave it to me. He knew I wanted it. I was gonna go in there and you know, buy it from him or trade him something for it. I had some things to trade, and you know, I said, you know, John gives it to me, and he says it's yours. I said, well, what do you want for it? You know, I'll trade you. And he's like, no, it's yours. I said, I didn't want to accept it. I really didn't want to accept it. I've never accepted something like this. It's such a nice gift. I didn't want it. I mean, I was gonna say, no, I have to give you some cash for it. I have to pay you for it. And he just insisted. So I was just, thank you, John. Sending you much love, my friend. He gave me a 1933 Tattoo Orbit Jimmy Fox. I don't have any Tattoo Orbit cards, and I wanted to get a Tattoo Orbit card of a Hall of Famer. And that's my first Tattoo Orbit, and it's Jimmy Fox. I mean, it's awesome. Really excited to have it. It's just a beautiful card. And you see the back of it, James E. Fox, infielder. Just a nice card from 1933. And you just don't see these very often. But they're in the Mangini collection. Everything is in the Mangini collection. One of the best collections in the world. One day, I can't wait to go visit him and just be in that room. But thank you, John. Very much appreciated, my friend. Very much appreciated. So let me show you. We're getting down to my three top pickups, but I've got to make a little bit of a stop here, because not a stop, but I do have to share something that to me really is the best pickup. That's the pickup. Eric gave me this. He said I got a lot of votes for the YouTube Sports Cards All-Star Hall of Fame. Not Hall of Fame, but All-Star. Well, next year I'll be eligible for the Hall of Fame. That would be probably the biggest thing in my life. But for now, not only did I get this, but this is what really gets me emotional. This is really something that I never expected. I got the double. He gave me the coach. He said I was also voted into the coaches section. And the coaches are guys like Mangini and Knute Rockne and all the guys that I've been watching since I started YouTube. And just to be considered to be, in that group, I'm extremely, extremely honored. So that's why these are really my favorite pickups, even though you're gonna see I got some awesome stuff. But thank you very, very much, YouTube community, because this comes from every one of you guys. It doesn't just come from Eric and Scott, because Scott makes these, but it comes from the other guys that voted for me. And I just want to thank each and every one of you. I'm extremely grateful, and it's just an honor to be given these awards. So thank you so much. All right, let's move on. Let's get to my big money pickups. I got this in I found a holder for this, Sammy. I found a mag. It's more for like the cards, but it fit perfectly for my 1958 highest root beer, Willie Mays with the tab. So tough to find these with the tab. So got this from a dealer that had broken up, or was breaking up a set, and these cards were just so nice. They were all in great condition. Now the Mays is off-centered, but you never see these cards. Look at that. Look at the corners of that. Look at that card. Willie Mays 58 Hires root beer with the tab, and the tab is perfectly intact. And then it tells you here, join the Hires Baseball Club, and you get a book. It says a book, How to Play Baseball, and a membership card. So what happened was everyone took the tab off. Here's the tab. So it says on here, giveaway. You see how that card is just perfect. Usually you see that tab folded, bent, or something. And here it is. People would fill that out. See the little hires? Paste the dime there, because you had to send 10 cents, and they send you a book. So they tell you, paste the dime there, fill that out. So you could imagine the damage that it took of a kid either tearing it off, ripping it off, or whatever they do with that, cut it off. Because I'm gonna get my book. And then you fill out your information there. And most of the time you'll see the card by itself. Given away with purchase of hires only. This card number 25. And it talks about Willie, and it has the hires root beer. Look at that. But usually you'll see the card, but you don't see it complete with the tab. So just super excited. And I'll give you a good close-up, a vintage sanctuary look at the card. But these, like the 62s, they chip extremely easy. So it's very difficult to find. And then the ones you find usually on the bottom, since the tab has been pulled off, I mean, sometimes the black part is kind of missing, or it's not as good, not as nice, and but you can see there's really virtually no chipping on anything. I mean, really just a beautiful example of Willie Mays. And I was looking for a Mays card, but I didn't expect to find this. I think this maybe, I didn't see any others really at the show. And this was raw. I was very worried that I would dent it and stuff. It was just like in a sleeve. And I was thinking of taking it to SGC and getting it graded. But when I looked around, I saw this magnetic holder here, and it just fit perfectly in there. So I thought, hey, perfect, this will work. It's a hard case, so it works for me, and it keeps it intact. So that is my, as far as dollar-wise, my third best pickup. The Willie Mays Hires root beer with the tab. Just a beautiful piece. Really love it, love it, love it. So I'm putting it away in this little holder here. All right, let me take a sip of coffee and I can show you. And you know, I also have a vintage football collection. And this one came up just as I'll tell you, my pickups this year, they really came up as kind of a fluke, you know, stuff that you never expected. Yes, I'll talk a couple more minutes and I'll show you that. Just a fluke. My top two pickups came from collectors that I met through people subscribed to my channel, you know, and so they came out of their collections, and it was just one of those things. And you just never expect people to pull stuff out of their case, and you know, you look at it and say, you know, you look in the whole room and you don't find anything as good or as nice, or you don't even find it in the room, and then somebody just pulls that out of the case. Someone that's just a true collector, you know, or someone, you know, that just has a nice collection. So I was fortunate enough on Saturday, right kind of before I was leaving, you know, talking to people. I didn't expect to spend much money. I ran into a young guy that I had talked to before, and again, you know, met through other guys. So we chatted a little bit, and he said, "I got something for you that I know you like." And he pulls this out. 1935 National Chicle, Knute Rockne. One of the big cards from for football. You know, I mean, I've always wanted the Bronco Nagurski, but the Knute Rockne, it's a huge card, guys. And he pulled that out, and I said, "Hey, I'm broke. I have no money, whatever." But you know, we were able to. I wasn't gonna let it go, and he came up with basically a price I couldn't resist, and I went ahead and I did do it through PayPal. But it's the only thing I did PayPal. Everything else I covered through with my sales of the things that I sold. I purchased everything you see here, and then this was the only one really that I kind of paid cash for at the end. So that's the thing. I basically didn't spend any money. Everything was selling. Everything I picked up, and then and this right at the end. So this is a beautiful Knute Rockne in a 5. It's off-centered. They're all off-centered, and it's just pristine. They all have like this blue thing. I mean, this is what they look like. This is the Knute Rockne in 5. It's brand new. It got the 5 because of the off-centering. I showed this again to David from SGC, who's the owner of SGC. That's the only reason, because these corners are extremely, this thing came right out of the pack. And these are all known to be off-centered. So even though it's off-centered, SGC gave it a 5 because of the sharpness and the beauty of this card. I mean, this is straight out of the pack, guys. Straight out of the pack. Beautiful picture. I mean, it's beautifully focused. Look at the back. Look how clean that card is. I just couldn't believe it. This is the kind of stuff I'm not going to leave behind. I wish my friend Don was there to see this, but Don, what do you think of this card? You're going to watch my video. You tell me. Put me a comment there. I'll pin this comment. But look at the corners. Look at that thing. 240 football players. National Chicle. National Chicle. In Spanish, it's chicle, which is gum, but it's chicle. But this is number 9. Immortal of all time college football's Knute Rockne. Just an incredible. You can pause it if you want and read the back. But I'm into a 40-minute video and I still haven't shown my big pickup, which I'm going to show in a minute. That's coming up next. But I just got to do the Adam slow roll. Good look at Knute Rockne. Big time Hall of Famer, coach, player, and really one of the top cards when you're thinking about football, vintage football. This is one of the top cards, one of the ones I've been looking for a long time. There it is. So let me get to the big boy, which I was able to pick up with trade. And this is just a crazy story on this one. Give me 5 more minutes, guys, and I will finish this video. I promise. It's going to be like a 45-minute video. But the story is that through some of the stuff that I sold, one deal was a big trade that I did that involved my Walter Johnson 49 Leaf Premium. And I traded that to a good friend and a follower of my channel. And I traded it for a beautiful Jackie Robinson 2.5. And I was ecstatic, just anxious to get a Jackie Robinson, 1950 Jackie in a trade, So that was great, and something I had double I was trading, so it was awesome. So I picked up the card, super excited, and I had the card less than a day, and I'm not one that trades, but when someone that I met there was, again, a friend of a friend, he, the funny thing is I was so excited, I was showing it to everybody, and at one point I dropped it, and I actually cracked the slab. But it didn't matter, it didn't go all the way through, and it's in an actual, and I'll show it to you right now. I was looking for a Walter Johnson card. As I said in my videos, I wanted to get a Walter Johnson. I wanted to get some type of, I'm gonna give you a quick shot of what I got there. I was trying to get I'm gonna put the Knute Rockne back in the bag here. Hold on, bear with me. So I was trying to get, here it is. I was trying to get a Walter Johnson card. So don't worry about the crack slab, it's a slight crack. I was so excited. I showed it to so many people. At one point I dropped it. When this guy, he's a collector, he collects autographs, and he has, tons of 1933 autograph. It was just incredible stuff. And when he pulled this out, it was a one-of-a-kind photograph, type 1, of Walter Johnson, and it's a family photo that came out of the family album. I showed this to Al from Love of the Game, and he told me that years ago, Walter Johnson's family, they sold off all of their things, most of their things, I guess. And most of them, he said, are in people's personal collections, but he says every once in a while, some of these will pop out. And he says, that this is one of the pieces. And let me show you the back. This was in an album. You can see it's kind of stuck on there. See, kind of an original. They didn't in the old days. But this was stuck in an album, and I cracked the damn case. It doesn't matter, it didn't go through. So this was stuck in an album in Walter Johnson's family for who knows how many years, and then it was taken out. And apparently either Walter Johnson signed it for somebody, which I think is the case, and gave it to somebody or something, but he signed it Best Wishes, Walter Johnson. It's just a gorgeous autograph of Walter Johnson and a beautiful picture of Walter Johnson. You know, it's an authentic auto. This photograph is PSA DNA certified. Photograph of Walter Johnson, autographed. And the way you could tell it, it's not like a professional photo, is like, because they cut off his head, so it's probably like a family member took this. Didn't do a great job of centering him there, but there's a fairly young. I'm trying to figure out if anybody knows anything about this and can tell me what year this photograph was taken. That's the kind of research I'm trying to find right now, but there it is. There is a beautiful Walter Johnson original photo, signed Best Wishes, Walter Johnson. So I didn't get the Walter Johnson card I was looking for, but I got something even better. An original photo of Walter Johnson, autographed. So I gave up my Jackie Robinson, and I added some cash from the sales that I had made of stuff that I had in my collection, and I ended up with this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful photograph of Walter Johnson, autographed by Walter. And this is pretty much one of my grail pieces as far as in my autograph collection. When I saw Iconic Al get an autograph of Cy Young, and then I was able to pick a Walter Johnson, I thought it was like, what? I could pick up a Walter Johnson. When the guy saw the, give you a great look at that. He saw the Jackie that I had, which is a beautiful 2.5 Jackie. He said, yeah, we'll work up a trade. So he gave me about $2,400 in trade value, and I put another some more money in for that. But Best Wishes, Walter Johnson, and best wishes to everybody. I hope everybody had an incredible national like I did. Picked up some of the cards that I was looking for, for my collection. And these are kind of some of my favorites, but it's just so many that I'm just very, very happy, very excited. And like Stephen with the PH says, I'm over the moon. So guys, it's about a 50-minute video, and I need to talk more about it, about the national. So let me go ahead and I gotta get Willie, because Willie's my second big boy there. So I'll talk more about the national in some other videos to follow. But this one is too long, and I had to share my really incredible pickups, and just even better, the time that I had with everybody was just unbelievable. And thank you so much, everybody that came up to me and talked to me and spent some time with me. Like always, it's just never enough time. And next year in Chicago, I'm gonna make sure that I try to stay longer, at least another day, because today is Sunday, and I'd love to be there today also, even though I don't have any money or done. It doesn't matter. It's just spending time with you guys. So I just want to thank everybody again that first voted for me for the All-Star very much appreciated. And especially the friends that I've made and that have really supported me over my 2.5 years here on YouTube. So thanks again, guys. It's been awesome. This is Orlando from A Collector's Dream, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I've got tons of video coming still on my YouTube channel, so keep your eye on that. I'll try to post something else really soon. Thanks for watching.